I'm your pocket filler, the parlay killer, the Northside thriller. Start the broadcast, subscribe with a smash. The Gorilla Sports Podcast.
And to the Gorilla Sports Podcast, I'm your host, Alex Bulpin, and it is Wednesday, August the 21st. All right, guys, I did not have an MLB podcast yesterday as I was putting together a big, long NFL preview podcast with one of my partners in crime, Jeremy Weber. He's one of the guys I'm going to be doing NFL with all year long. So, we had a big, long Twitter Spaces. It was about just over an hour. And we're talking all things AFC. We're going to talk all things NFC coming on Friday. So that'll be another one. We did it live on Twitter Spaces. Going forward, this is going to be good. I can't wait. I had one play that I put out to Twitter yesterday. We ended up taking Tyler Fitzgerald and Jose Miranda to get one hit each for the late night games after I was finished with the podcast. Did a bit of research, like that one. Put it out on Twitter. We had a winner there, so I like that. But I got a bunch of plays today, guys. Let's get into the action. My first play is I'm going to take the Philadelphia Phillies on the money line today. And we're getting them as a short road underdog versus Atlanta. Now, I've seen the prices kind of going back and forth. I got a plus 105 earlier in the day. I think I see it at minus 108, minus 110 on either side. Either way, I still like Philly a lot. We're back at Aaron Nola today. This guy's 11-6, got a 3.45 ERA and a 1.16 whip. He's coming off a nice 7-inning shutout of Washington his last time out. And we're going versus Max Fried. He's 7-7. He's got a 3.83 ERA, a 1.25 whip. But his last three outings have been underwhelming, to say the least. He hasn't gone past 5 innings in all three of his last starts. He gave up 3 runs to San Francisco, losing 6-0. Gave up 5 runs to Colorado in a no decision. They ended up winning that one 11-8, and then he only lasted 3 innings versus Miami, giving up 5 runs, and they lost that one 7-0. Now the Philadelphia Bats absolutely kill Max Fried. Let's get into some of them. Nick Castellanos, he's 9 for 15, batting .600 with a homer and a double. Trey Turner's 10 for 25, batting .400 with 2 homers, 2 doubles. He actually had a 2-homer game this year versus Max Fried. Alec Bombs, 8 for 22, batting .364 with 3 doubles, and he had 3 hits the last time Max Fried pitched versus Philly. JT Realmuto, 6 for 20, batting .300 with a home run. So those are some great numbers versus Max Fried. So I'll be using some of those batters a little bit later, as you'll hear. But I also like the over 7.5 runs. Now, I mean, Philly could almost do this on their own. But Aaron Nola, as good as he is, he has some down games as well where he gives up a lot of hits and a lot of contact. And this is not the team to give that up against, as Ozuna and Austin Riley and all these boys, they can hit as well. So it kind of protects the Philadelphia bet as well, because I think if Atlanta's going to win this game, they're going to have to score some runs, because I think Philly will as well. So I like Philadelphia on the money line, and I like over 7.5 runs. And I got 4 batter parlays that I like as well today. Let's get into them. We are going to take Trey Turner. How can you not? This guy's batting .400 versus Max Fried. He had 2 homers the last game versus him. And we're going to pair him with Jake Berger of the Miami Marlins. We've used this guy a bunch. He's been absolutely on fire. And he's 4 for 6 with a homer and a double versus Jordan Montgomery in Arizona. So I like that look. Trey Turner, Jake Berger. Our next play is we're going to take Steven Kwan, and we're going to pair him with Vladdy Guerrero to get 1 hit each. Steven Kwan's batting .333 on the year. He's 4 for 12 versus Nestor Cortez, and he's 1 for 3 versus him this year. So all across the board, he's .333 on the year versus Cortez and versus Cortez this year. So give me a 1 for 3 day, and he'll get us a hit. And we're going to pair him with Vladdy Guerrero. Come on, this guy's an absolute stud. Batting .318 on the year. He's 27 hits out of his last 30 games, so that is just an insane tear he's on. I like those two guys together. Our next play is we're going to take Mark Ventos of the New York Mets. This kid has been crushing. We've taken him a bunch of times already in the last little while. He's 2 for 3 versus Irvin, and he's on an 8-game hitting streak, and he's hitting 10 of his last 12 games as well. So he's on a great tear, and we're going to pair it with Alec Baum who's absolutely on fire. He's got a hit in 19 of his last 20 games. He's batting 364 with 3 doubles versus Max Fried. I'm liking that a lot. He's on a 6-game hitting streak as it is. And then our last play is we're going to take Corbin Carroll of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, as dismal as the beginning of this year was, he has really started to put it back together. He's got a hit in 21 of his last 26 games. He's got a hit in 9 of his last 11 games. And he's going versus Munoz in Miami. And he is in the first percentile of barrels, meaning dead last in barrels. Everybody can hit off this guy. And I think Corbin Carroll is going to help that out as well. And then we're going to pair it with Bobby Witt, Bobby Baseball of the Kansas City Royals. I mean, what do you say about him? He's got 352 on the year, leading majors. He's going versus Johnny Cueto. He's coming off the couch to make his first MLB start this year. So I can't imagine what he's going to bring to the table today that Bobby Witt can't hit. However, this Carroll and Bobby Witt is by far the juiciest of the day. It's minus 135 I got that at. So that is a bit of a higher juice price that I don't like to take typically, but I really like these two guys together. So we've got a money line, we've got a total, and we got 4 batter parlays. I'll see you for a podcast tomorrow morning. And then on Friday as well, we're going to have our NFC breakdown. All right, guys, if you're rocking with me, let's roll.